Welcome to another episode of Bargain Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at Aqua Tales, a short CGI film released back in 2012. And I'll be upfront admitting that this movie leaves me with rather mixed feelings for a few reasons. On one hand, the movie has a few decent messages and themes at its core, but it hurts itself with some old-school cartoon violence and some line reads that remind me of the rhyming Paradox brothers from Yu-Gi-Oh! Though I'll get to that after discussing a major parental concern about this title and some misinformation floating around about this movie.
Damn sea suckers, you ungrateful meathead!
One of the most common criticisms of this movie, besides the cartoon violence, is that a lot of the characters swear or throw around insults in a rather casual manner, and that is especially true for Marina, which I can't deny. I went through this movie with a fine-tooth comb and caught at least 8 scenes where this young character either swears or insults another character or group of characters. While most of the swear words are rather light and probably expected considering the nature of the story,
Damned aliens!
even I raised an eyebrow when she dropped this little gem of a line.
Let's get the hell out of here!
And these are only the insults or swear words used by one character in particular. There were a few other scenes where
Captain Mackerel,
also known as
you should call me Big Mac or else,
throws around insults as well. So if you have issues with characters swearing and tossing around casual insults, then I suggest avoiding this film. Though I guess it does mean the characters in this movie stick to the old idiom about swearing like a sailor.
About beating the heck out of those stinking mutants.
The only review I found for this movie claims that the name of the newscaster is I.P. Daly. This information is incorrect. The actual name of the newscaster is... what was it again? It's on the tip of my tongue. Come on, brain, think. Think.
This is Terry Bull for OM3 TV.
Thank you. This isn't to say that the movie doesn't include a joke about a character by this name.
According to famous dog trainer I.P. Daly,
another piece of misinformation floating around about this movie is about this scene in particular.
You've busted up my bike and I'll have to fix it now.
According to the author of the complaint, Marina sounds like she is dropping an F-bomb instead of saying mucked up. Though I guess it goes without saying that I call their ability to listen into question when they confused busted up with mucked up. On the story side of things, Aqua Tales is about a young lad named Opal, who eats the wish fish and makes a terrible wish. I mean, seriously, what sort of monster would wish for something like this?
I wish Saturn's hordes would come down and take you and all the oceans and all the fish away!
Truly, this young brat of a character is a representation of some of the worst aspects of humanity. But the core of the movie is about Opal learning to mature and grow as a character, and see beyond his own selfish desires. And it's also clear from the nature of the setup that this movie is hinting at the age-old idiom about being careful what you wish for, since it might come true. Though the movie also seems to be rather shameless in its promotion of why you should eat fish.
Many centuries ago, there was a civilization that discovered a substance in fish that made them invincible. It was called Omega-3. It became their war cry.
And this shameless promotion weighs down the positive messages of the narrative and makes the story feel more confusing than it needs to be. And to make matters worse, the main antagonist of the movie is taken out in a way that is both disgusting and unnecessary. I'll skip over discussing the other topics in detail since I feel the clips speak for themselves, but if you want my opinion, the movie does alright for itself in terms of animation, music, and voice acting. The only real complaint I have about any of those areas is that I'm not particularly fond of the character designs, which have far more in common with bobbleheads than actual people. Overall, Aqua Tales is a mixed bag of a movie that falls smack dab in the middle of the road. It neither impresses the audience, nor is it particularly memorable in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, this movie is one of those titles that just falls into the cracks and disappears. Though I guess if you're desperate for a movie that promotes healthy eating to a young audience, and have no misgivings about the language utilized in this movie, then this might be up your alley. Though I'd honestly just skip this movie in favor of something better.
Do you think they'll make it?
You don't stand a chance.
They're going to die then, right?
Yes. No.